Good morning. My hair is a little fuzzy there. Anyway, hi, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda and I am here with my weekly wrap up. Before we get started, there might be some weird jumps in here in this video because it is possible that this will be a very noisy video. The Oregon International Air Show is starting. I'm filming this on Friday and it starts today. And so the planes are coming in. It's at the airport in my town, which is like a little, it's not a commercial airport. It's where company jets fly in and out of, but this is where they have one of the air shows. And the flight path for planes going to the air show is right over my house. The cat is not happy. So if there's some weird jumps, that just means I'm cutting out the sound of a plane going over. This is the only time of the year that we have this issue. But it kind of floats throughout the year, so I never know when it's going to happen. Because I'm not really in the know on the air shows because I don't care. My family likes it. I don't. But the airport's across the street from the library. So if I go to the library and I see the sign, the air show's coming, that's how I know. That, and of course the plane's going everywhere. And time for me to fix my camera. There we go. So, I can't really talk much about this past week because I did the mid-month book bash vlog, so you saw most of it. I will give you all an update on the bookshelf saga because that was in there and I know people have been asking about it. The bookshelf saga is currently on hold because I was going to get a bookshelf for Mother's Day and then I told my husband not to worry about it because I realized I want to do something completely different with my books and it might not be the right bookshelf. See what I mean? So it killed me. It killed me to say, let's just not worry about the bookshelf. But I supposedly am getting a washer and dryer instead. I don't know if he's ordered them yet. He needs to do that. Okay, there's a big truck. There's also trucks going out. We have airplanes and trucks, what can I say? But yeah, so that's a thing. Honestly, what is eventually going to happen, I think, is I'm going to reclaim once my kids, and I'm not rushing for this to happen at all. But at some point, I'm going to have some extra bedrooms in my house. And one of them is going to become a library. I had a craft room that got taken over when COVID started. Well, I never did crafts. Like I aspired to be crafty. I am not a crafty person. But my craft room got taken over when COVID started and my husband started working from home. That's now his office. So that would have been a room too. But yeah, whatever. So there's that. What else? Oh, in case anyone is interested, Christina, who's a commenter, and Maria-Andrea at Books of Bocandios, and I are going to be doing a buddy read of The Grapes of Wrath starting on June 2nd. We have a Voxer room. If anyone would like to join us, please let me know and I will add you to the Voxer room. We would love to have you. So yeah, that's a thing that's happening as well. The Grapes of Wrath. That is one of my classics catch-ups for the year. Oh, and by the way, thank you all for my last one. I asked for no, it wasn't my update. It was like my haul video, I think, or my book haul revisit. I can't remember what video it was, but I asked for some help with my classics catch-up list for 2026. I can tell you it does look like Age of Innocence for Edith Orton, and I have been told not to read Hemingway. So the list is still in progress. I have months to worry about it. But I just want to let you know, thank you all for your input. I really do appreciate it, especially if you've saved me from reading Hemingway, which I may not have liked anyway. So there you go. But yeah, so The Grapes of Wrath was one of my classic catch-ups for 2025. And so that's the June one, and we're going to be buddy reading it. And just heads up, if anyone wants to know, in August, I will be doing North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, if anyone would like to join us. I think that Kristin is going to read that with me as well. And then October will be The Haunting of Hill House. And November or December, I can go either way on that one, will be The Moonstone. Probably December because of nonfiction November. The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. So those are the books for the rest of this. What else can I tell you all? Well, I did finish 4 books this week, one of which was a Booktube prize book, so I won't be talking about that. I have one left to do. So I'm feeling good about being able to finish that without stress. I've done them all on audio, which I wasn't initially planning to do them all on audio. I did get the audiobooks of 4 from Libro, and then the 2 that were left were short books, and I was just going to read them. But I didn't, for reasons that I'll explain in June. I might have already explained them, but I'm not going to get into it now. So I've ended up doing them all on audio, which is fine. But let me get through what I have, the 3 books I have finished, and even of those, I'm not going to talk about one that much. The first one I finished, and I did this on audio, but I have the print book, is Circe by Madeline Miller. I am buddy reading this with Erin at Erin Go Live, and we're still in the midst of that, so I'm not going to talk much about this other than to say that I really liked it. And I am actually really glad that I have a print copy of it for my keeper shelf, because I definitely will want to revisit this at some point. I did enjoy it. Also, my daughter would really love this book, so it was a used book. I was not that hard. This is what it came like. So I am glad to have this available on my shelf. She... I can't remember if I told this story, but she went with me to Powell's on Independent Bookstore Day. And I was so excited about her going to the bookstore with me. And I realized she just really wanted ice cream, but whatever. But one of the books she wanted to buy was Stone Blind. And I said, I have that book. I bought a print book so you would be able to read it. And she's like, oh, I didn't know. So I'm trying to keep most of the Greek mythology retellings that I read, not necessarily permanently on my keeper shelf. This one is one that's going to stay on my keeper shelf. The Natalie Haynes ones are going to stay on my shelf. But like the Jennifer Saint ones, she's already taken Ariadne. That probably won't stay on my keeper shelf. Mostly because for that one, I've instituted a rule, which is I do not keep book of the month books. And that one's a book of the month book. I need to do something to keep the keeper shelf under control. But I just want her to be able to read them all. Speaking of kids reading, I got to share something with you. So my son, who's always been a reluctant reader, he doesn't like to read. He likes to play video games all the time. He doesn't like to read, but when he does read a book in class, like in his ELA class, he tends to really love it. So I'm trying to explain to him that you could just just do it, But anyway, he had to read a book for a book report. He could read any book he wanted. And he chose The Hobbit, which we had a copy of The Hobbit. And I explained to him, you can't write your book report on the movie. You have to read the book. And he's like, fine, he did that. Well, he apparently enjoyed it so much that he asked my husband to find my husband's copies of the Lord of the Rings books. So, J.R. Tolkien. I have never read the Lord of the Rings books. I think I read The Hobbit a long time ago when I was a kid. It's just not my thing, and that's fine. I understand that they're fantastic books, and I will be eternally grateful for them if they turn my son into a reader who doesn't have to be assigned books. So I do think, though, that when he finishes the Lord of the Rings, or even if he doesn't finish Lord of the Rings, I might also push him towards the Chronicles of Narnia. I think he'd really like those. So maybe for his birthday, he'll get a set of, because I don't think we have a set of the Chronicles of Narnia. But anyway, just had to share that. But anyway, that was Circe. The second book I finished was for Mari Andrea's Book and Bocadillo's book club, but it was last month's book because I didn't get to it last month. And that is The Invisible Life of Euridice Gusmao by Marta Batalha. This is translated from the Portuguese by Eric M.B. Becker. So this book is a Brazilian novel. It is set in Rio in the 1940s, so it is historical fiction. And it's really about 2 sisters, one of which is Euridice, and the other one is Guida. And really this explores the whole women being stuck into these sort of domestic roles and certain expectations of women in the first part of the 20th century, and them kind of fighting against it. It was a very delightful read. If I had to give a comp for it, or not really a comp, but like if you like this book, try this book, I would say Lessons in Chemistry. There was something a little Lessons in Chemistry-ish about it. I really liked the 2 sisters, Euridice and Guida. They're just very fascinating characters, and their stories were interesting, and they kept me going. I will say my one criticism of this book is the structure sometimes works a little bit against it. A lot of it is, this is where we are and let's go back. And this is where we are and let's go back various times for various characters, which I felt kind of stopped the momentum at times. But still, I would recommend this book. I think, unless I missed something in my records, this is the first time I've read a Brazilian novel, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you to Mari Andrea for putting this on my radar. So I would recommend The Invisible Life of Euridice Gusmao. And I am reading, I just started yesterday, this month's book for her book club, which is Night at the Fiestas, which is a short story collection. And I had to finish this next book before I could start that one, because my next book is a short story collection. And this is Atavists by Lydia Millet. I've mentioned this before, but I discovered Lydia Millet in March. I didn't discover her. I first read her in March when I went to Arizona. She is a Tucson author. And her book of dinosaurs I knew was set, I thought it was set in Tucson, but it's set in Phoenix. It's set in Arizona. And I like to, when I travel, like read books that are in the place where I am. So I had pulled that book to read on vacation. And I'm so glad I did, because it was a 5-star book for me. I really loved it. And I want to read more from her. She has like 12 books, I think. Let me see here. Oh, she's got more than that. She has 4 books for young readers, but then she has 15 books, not including this one. And one of which is a memoir, and I think I'm going to order that one. But this is a short story collection. This is not her first short story collection, from what I understand. I do have a children's Bible on my Kobo to read, so there's that. And really, this is just sort of an exploration of present day life and sort of the pressures that we have just as people living in this world and things that are going on. It can be considered interconnected short stories. For one of my Storygraph prompts, for one of my challenges, I counted it because one of the synopsis I read said it was. Personally, when I think of interconnected short stories, I usually think of a stronger thread holding them together. And this is not a criticism. This is just an observation on my part. And this is more like you're just like, there's a group of people and you get different stories about each of them. There's not a plot thing going with this, especially. But I really enjoyed it. I love her writing. It's very accessible. It's like, you feel like she's just right there telling you stories, because she's got just I want to be her friend sort of thing. And she's got like a very dry sense of humor that I like. That was there too. Now, it's very rare for me to find a short story collection where I loved every short story. And this was not one of those. There were a couple of short stories where I was like, what? Or maybe it just didn't work as well for me. But on the whole, I really enjoyed this. Each story they're titled like tourist or artist or pastoralist, and ist like that. And it's not super direct. Like, the pastoralist isn't necessarily about a pastor or a farmer, however you want to do that. Or futurist is not set in the future, but there's a little bit of that in there. Sorry, my watch just dinged on me. But I really enjoyed this. They were fun stories. If you've never read Lydia Millet, you could do worse than starting here with her. I mean, I shouldn't talk. I've read 2 of her books, so both of them are good. But yeah, really enjoyed this. So that is what I finished this week. You can look down below to see what I'm currently reading, because I have a lot of books going, and it would be here forever if I told you about everything I was reading. So down below, you can see what I'm reading. And again, if you are interested in joining us for a group read of The Grapes of Wrath on Voxer, let me know and I will add you to the list. And yeah, that's my week. I made it through without an airplane going over, so that's good. I may have to drug the cat tonight. I always have to play it by ear. Like, I always give her gabapentin on the 4th of July, because just, yeah. But I never really know how bad it's going to be for the air show. So I'm playing it by ear. We'll see. Last year it was close, but I didn't have to do it. But we'll see how it goes this year. She's Alice. You've seen that video. You just know what she's like. She's my little evil villain. Anyway, I'm starting to babble, so I'll let you go. Like, subscribe, join my Discord. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.